Hey Winxers, what's up? Oh yeah, finally here. You have asked me a lot to make a tutorial or at least to share my brushes. Almost 1 year of waiting. I hope it is worth it for you. So I'm not saying anything, let's go to the actual tutorial. I hope you like it. We have our base here with all layers for each body part. So we can use as many layers for the hair strands, sections. I don't know how to say it, you'll understand later. The first thing is to imagine the hair shape, hairstyle, or we can use a reference. For example, this will be mine for this video. It is simple and complex enough, and I think it will be very helpful for this tutorial. As always, we have to make a sketch to be sure of the shape and make corrections if anything goes wrong. To begin with, we must know where the hair is born, if you understand me. I usually do something like this, and some kind of semicircle at the top of the forehead, and this is the main point. I have it made as line work too because sometimes I fail with these strokes in the graphic tablet. Sorry me. Conveniently, these strands are born in the middle. Then I can make it from the intersection here. Let's define the movement of the hair with a few lines. I think it looks a bit off, so I'm going to start again. I think I'm going fine, but somehow it looks a bit strange yet. I'm going to use the transformation tools to see if I can fix this. Okay, I see the angle of the hair doesn't fit the angle of the face, and it is a bit too straight in the top part, so I'm gonna fix that. The shape of this part is more to our view's left, and it's not too round. So we'll make the basic shape for this. From now on, we can choose the hair direction and add some volume to the ponytail. I make a main line for the movement, which I will follow, and this looks pretty cute. For example, I want this to stop here and to make appear another strand. You know I love this shape, come on. Another going here, it hides, and there it is again. Just a bit of a problem here, it seems to be just a bit of hair, and out of the sudden it is a lot again. I usually make another strand which is a bit more free. Or this classic. Now this part is a problem, it looks a bit unnatural, I don't know how to say it, but I'm erasing it and making another strand to fix it. Now that the sketch is finished, let's go for the line work. Lower the opacity of the sketch group to make it easy to follow. I'm making a new layer group for what is in front of the head. This is the pen I use, and my stabilizer for everything is S5. When it comes about the pen size, I do the whole art as 9 in size. Everything with mouse. However, I have to press a lot of the pen to make it that size, so I'm setting it to 10. Of course, depends on the canvas size. Mine is this approximately for a half body, for example. Make a new layer for the most important lines. If I have a problem, I use the transformation tool, which I love, although I don't use it as much for my artworks. Just if your canvas is small, it will look blurry, I mean a lot. And more layers depending on the line, so I can transform or erase them with no problem at all. By the way, don't do multiple strokes for a single line. It looks strange and dirty for straight hair, and honestly it looks a bit off. Next is this part. There is a lot of people who do this, and most of the time the hair looks flatter than it should. So let's do strand by strand. I don't know how to name these things. For this hair shape, we can do 2 lines that intersect with each other and erase this bit. Just don't do this more than you should or must. Once finished this part, let's move the group into the base. It must be above the head and I want it below the hands. Use a mask for the head. In this case, I already had set this mask, and erase what is covered by the hair. The hand covers a bit of the hair, so to apply a mask, we have to select the line work layer, then select where you want the hair group to be seen in the same layer. Then select the group and press the mask button, and it's done. It only hides this part of the hair. I'm going to hide what I don't need anymore since that is completed, and this one temporarily. don't make all the lines because it is easier to make them after setting the base color. What I do is to make a layer group for all the color and texturizing and separate them depending on how many parts we can divide the hair in. For example, we have the basic frontal part, the ponytail, and the rest which is loose. Make a new layer above the basic color, mark the clipping group option, and choose the line color of the line work. Now, I do make the lines a bit smaller, the size I was talking about previously. And start making the lines. And one thing, do not make them super parallel to each other. I mean, put a bit of shape on it so it will add a bit of volume and not make the hair look so flat. Once someone asked me, how do I know how many lines should I do? Their answer is, I don't know. But I usually take care of not leaving a lot of empty space for the brush size. You'll know what I mean later, I hope. Next, make a new layer between the basic color and lines and set to multiply. Most of the time I use the base color, but sometimes, like I do with Musa, I have to use a different color. You actually can see my palette above. And start shading with the airbrush, following the direction of the hair, and the more detail, the better. After that, we make another multiply layer for texture 1 with this brush, and the size is a bit like the smallest spaces among the lines, or in my case, around 30 or 40. Make this a bit separated for the next layers that will set in screen mode, like the previous one, following the same direction as the lines, but doing them in these spaces.
I tried my best just to get away, but you pulled me closer. You're something wild I can never tame, and you're taking over. All my thoughts and the words I say never seem to matter. You're the drug running through my veins and the crash right after.
This is the most important texture of all. Again, new multiply layer, and we'll use this brush. The size is a bit larger than texture 1 brush, and density between 60 and 90. Start shading the already shaded parts and a few others to make some balance.
You're the drug running through my veins and the crash right after.
As always, we do the same with the screen layer, but this time is a bit different. There are some shaded parts that are flat and dark, like this one, so let's add a bit of this to it. I make this kind of strokes that are on the shaded parts as well to make volume. These are usually short strokes depending on these main curves, if you know what I mean.
Makes my vision slower. Try and run, but I can't escape. As my whole world shattered. You're the drug running through my veins and the crash right after.
This is the finished hair color, but we're missing a little detail. Make a layer above the frontal line group and we make these little strokes that are free, let's say. The more you make, the more disheveled our character will look. Don't make them too long or very separated. Looking up again. And that's the very basic process for couture hair. Of course there is more, but I think the video is already long enough. In the description and pinned comment you'll have a few links to videos that can be useful and to my DeviantArt, where is a lot of material that explains all this in case you didn't understand something or whatever. I hope it helped anyone. You know, this is my first tutorial in a long time and I'm terrible explaining things. See you next time, Winxers. Bye!